right, everybody. So we're on to the final topic of the night. Just a reminder to all the fans, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Um, we're about to go in on this, so make sure y'all stay tuned. Um, so with the first matchup that we have the Texans at 2-6 versus the Browns at 5-3. I'll go ahead and take the lead on this. So I have the Browns winning this. Um, and it's not the year for the Texans, in my eyes. JJ Watt has already been expressing his thoughts of going elsewhere. Feel like that franchise is,
Bill O'Brien ruined it.
yeah, it's blowing up as we see. I mean, Deshaun Watson is playing phenomenal. He's has gotten it on track, but
He can
uh
only do so much.
yeah, they don't play that much defense over there. And
Sounds like another team we'll be talking about here soon.
yeah, there's also supposed to be some weather issues in that game. So also Nick Chubb is supposed to be active, but it's not official just yet. I haven't heard any reports, but supposedly they were supposed to give that sometime today. I haven't heard anything. So I'm going with the Browns.
Okay, so I second that notion. I'm taking Cleveland as well. As much as I would like the Texans to beat them, because I mean it's the division opponent. You know the Browns lose, and it's kind of what you're used to the Browns doing is losing. But they're a lot better than what they have been. I mean, they've been making strides the last couple seasons, but the Texans aren't the Texans that they once were. And like you said, Deshaun Watson is gonna do everything he can, but overall, I don't see them being able to beat the Browns even without Chubb. I just don't. I don't see it, unfortunately. Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much it for me on that one. Spence.
All right. All right, Baker. I'm gonna trust you again this time. Now, the last time I did this, you got up smashed. So I'm picking the Browns on this one. Uh, I believe as like you guys says, this is Aiden. I think we're going to rebuild mode with the Texans. I think we're entering rebuild mode. So
Without the
uh
assets to rebuild, because the Dolphins have your first and second, so it's going to be a
yeah.
tough rebuild. You got to trade some assets off to get assets, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they got so JJ is probably going to be a very big key piece of what they're trying to accomplish. So they got to do it at least in the off season. They can't let him walk, or they will literally shoot them in the foot. But I'm picking the Browns on this one. Simple as that. Simple as that. Go Baker.
All right, on to the next one. The Jacksonville Jaguars at 1-7 versus the Packers at 6-2. I have the Packers on this one. I don't think this is much of this is a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, I'm
I
a
don't even
second
really
that
want
one. No deep dive on that for me. I'm
yeah.
taking the Packers easy.
Dude, no, I'm picking Packers. No, I don't think this is the game that I will see upset. But now, once again, if that happens, that means Green Bay has lost to two Florida teams.
Yeah.
So I guess the South is a kryptonite. But I don't think they're gonna lose.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna lose.
Um. Oh, one thing. I haven't got an official update on that, but Alan Lazard for the Packers, he may potentially be up active, but it hasn't been reported yet. He's a game time decision. Um, but if he doesn't play this week, he'll definitely be playing next week. Um, but with that being said, going on to the next game, you got the battle of the East, the NFC
Ah,
least. Philadelphia at 3-4-1 versus the New York Giants at 2-7. I'm going. I was back and forth with this. I'm gonna go with the Philadelphia Eagles. I feel like they're getting healthier right now. Um, Carson Wentz has Jalen Rager back. Also, Dallas Goddard is back. I heard Alshon Jeffrey has had some full participants, so he may potentially be making his way back as well. Which Eagles have been struggling offensively, but mainly because of the bodies that they've had out there. So I think it's the defense is going to cause Daniel Jones to into a few interceptions, maybe some fumbles. Excuse me. And yeah, I believe the Eagles will win by a touchdown. Trey?
I guess so far it's looking like that Thursday night is the only separation right now because I agree once again. I am taking Philly um, out of the division that you can't trust anyone. I believe I did say a few weeks ago by default, I think I trust Philly just a little bit more, at least with their front seven. They gave both Baltimore and Pittsburgh fits there. Um, what's the receiver Fulgham?
Yeah.
Fulgham, who has stepped up in the
Fulgham?
absence.
Yeah. His
Yeah.
last name's Fogum. I forgot his first name.
Yeah,
Nate.
the rookie.
Nate.
Yeah. Is it Nate? I thought it was Travis.
It could be.
I think it is. It might be Travis Fulgham is
Yeah.
his name.
Yeah, probably.
Sounds correct. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, though, in the absence of Deshaun and Alshon and their original starters, he did a good part of kind of keeping them somewhat on track. And they are the leaders of the NFC East right now. So how can I bet against them? But yeah, I'm taking them over the Giants.
Okay.
But I think it'll be a tight one though. I do think it'll be a tight one, but I'm rolling with Philly.
Oh, just I got an update. Alan Lazard will not be active this
He's not
weekend.
playing. Okay.
Yeah, he's not playing. So if anybody
Okay.
has none of
Green
them.
Bay. Okay.
But back to you, Spence. Eagles
Okay.
versus Giants.
Okay. So let's be devil's advocate. Remember this?
Yeah.
This was against the Eagles. Now
He scored.
I don't. Listen. Hear me out. Now, as this happened before our eyes, let's not forget the Giants had the Eagles at a certain point, but they just let it go. But I feel like this is revenge game because here's the thing: the Eagles are what? What's their record again?
3-4-1.
3-4-1, and yeah, the Giants is having a very bad year. But let's just face it: everybody in the division is having one. It's just that it just looks better because it's a tie. But other than that, I'm still picking the Eagles though. As much as I don't know what's going on.
You know what though? Sorry to cut in though, but when you really think about it, if we're being real, like Vick was trying to get on me last week because the Steelers had a tight one against the
Cowboys.
The Cowboys. I'm tripping, but the Giants gave the Bucks a scare.
A run for their money.
Yeah,
A run for their money.
And then Philly gave both the Steelers
run
and
for
the
their
Ravens a
money.
run. So that's what I'm saying. So as bad as the NFC least is,
are they really that bad, or are they all stuck in a genjutsu and they're like, hey, I think we all suck, but I think we're all good. But I'm picking the Eagles on this one.
I think it's the latter part.
What's the next game pick?
All right, so on to the next game. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 6-3 at Carolina at 3-6. I'm going to go with the Bucks.
Of course.
Yeah. No.
Of course.
Definitely
shocker.
Not having Christian McCaffrey, but even though they don't have Christian McCaffrey has been the Bucks have been Christian McCaffrey's kryptonite because he hasn't really had a good game against them. They've pretty much had him in check, but it's going to rely solely on what the balance of the Carolina Panthers are going to be able to possess. And to definitely since Carolina struggles against the run, it's all going to be dependent on if they're able to move the ball on the Panthers to the ground, because through the air, Carolina is decent. They're not the best, but they're average. They're solid in that category. But still, again, at the same time, as all Bucks fans have seen last week, it's all going to be dependent on the chemistry that Tom Brady and the rest of the receivers have as well. Because if they play like they did against the Saints, to where there was a lot of um, you know timing issues,
Miscues.
that's going to definitely have the Bucks fan base in quite a panic, to say. And I'm not trying to say that I don't believe the Panthers are good. They're a solid team. They've obviously had good games against the Chiefs and the Bucks earlier this year, where we were up by 4 points or 3 points, and we scored that late touchdown with I almost said LeGarrette Blunt, but it was what's his name, Leonard Fournette, that sealed the game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I'm going with the Bucks and to sweep the season against the Carolina Panthers. Trey.
All right. I again, I guess we're just in agreement this week. I am taking the Bucks as well. Carolina, they have been like I discussed last week. We went down their whole season. They pretty much like they're in every game. They're gonna be competitive, but for whatever reason, they have not found the way to get over on the other side, which that's what makes good teams at the end of the day. Like we can talk about what happened with the Steelers, talk about what happened with the Eagles and Ravens, Eagles and Steelers game, the Bucks and Giants game. At the end of the day, good teams find a way to win. That's what I always think. So the Panthers haven't shown me that they are that. Just they are. You are what your record is at the end of the day. I can't keep saying that they're in every game, which they are. Their biggest loss has been 14 points. The last 2 weeks they've lost by their field goal, their kicker missing a field goal. It sucks, but at the end of the day, you are what you are. I feel like the Bucks, they definitely are going to be fired up and want to bounce back from my boy Jameis eating the W. And yeah, I got the Bucks, but again, it's gonna be tightly contested. I'm gonna say Bucks win by 10. 10.
All right. What's your thoughts, Trey? Spence.
Well, before then, let's just do this. All right, so Steeler Vic, I need your help on this one. So
Steeler Vick.
I need your help on this one. Okay, so I told you, Vic, if I have a winning one, you're gonna see him a lot more often. Now, hear me out. I, Spencer Reeves, am going to pick the Carolina Panthers for this one. And I go by, and this is why I'll say this. I picked the Carolina Panthers for this because I feel like that this is going to come down to a kick, to a Justin Slide kick. And this is going to be the kick that he'll finally make. This is it.
Oh, I was going to say, he said it's going to come down to a kick. And both times he said it, it came down to a kick, but they missed.
You can't go.
They missed. But I promise you, for storylines and everything, I promise you, watch, they're going to come down to a kick, and they'll be like, "Oh, he's gonna miss it." All of a sudden, he kicked. It's going. Oh my God! It's going to be a shocker. Now, if the Bucks gonna win, of course they should, because that's what they should do. But for me, I'm picking the Carolina Panthers. Why? Because I feel like Teddy can do this. I feel like with Curtis Samuel having one of is it Curtis Samuel or the other? I know Samuel. He's having one of an amazing game, rushing and receiving the touchdowns. It's just that I feel like their offense their defense is still new. They're still rookies and defending. So I feel like that's going to be a huge factor. If Tom don't play down to the opponent, they should win. But I feel like the Panthers is going to come out with this one. So that was my first upset.
All right. Well, sometimes you can go to the well one too many times, and I think that's exactly what's happening right here, fellas.
What do you mean, well? What well one too many
Just
times?
because you got one prediction right, don't mean that's gonna happen again. But it's a
You're gonna
good
be
take on
sick.
your part.
You're gonna be sick if I get it right.
I just don't think that's gonna happen.
We'll see.
But it's a possibility.
I mean, you said y'all for to beat the Saints. You see how that went?
Oh, we won. I played.
What?
I
What
played.
mentally?
I played a simulation game later that night.
You won mentally?
I played on Matter. We won.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, it was 38-3.
Moving on.
All right, so on to the next topic. I think this one is going to be a big one for, to see who's going to separate. We got the Washington football team at 2-6 versus the Detroit Lions at 3-5. They failed me last week, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the Washington football team. I believe this is Alex Smith's first career start since his big injury. He did play last week, but his first start. And I believe that he's going to give the offense a little juice. Obviously, we know what Alex Smith is about. He's not somebody that's just going to take control of the game. He's a game manager. He'll get the ball to the receiver and, you know, keep the offense producing. So defensively, Washington football team has been played better than most expected. Um, and that pass rush of theirs, Matthew Stafford hasn't been the best this year. Uh, some may say that this is a down year for him, but
That's
yeah, I'm going with the DC, the Washington football team.
And this is where we split off because I
ah,
am not taking the football team. Seems like just about every time I did pick the football team, it did not go in my favor. There were the revolving door of quarterbacks, and it's just, I mean, Terry McLaurin is having a great season. Shout out to him, Scary Terry, for making the most of, uh, like I said, a revolving door of quarterbacks. But I still have faith in Detroit. Matthew Stafford, uh, DeAndre Swift, and I don't know if you guys seen the little take that Peterson had said. Adrian Peterson, this is a big game for him personally. He says I guess he feels the type of way about Washington letting him go, and he says they're gonna regret letting him go. I guess he still felt like he had more left in the tank, and they did not believe so, and that's why obviously he got let go and he's in Detroit now. But so this is like a big personal matchup for Peterson himself. I don't know if the Lions are, I don't know if the football team even like care as much as he cares about it, but he's kind of fired up about this one. So I'm rocking with AP in the Lions, and Stafford gonna get it done.
That's tough. That's tough. I don't know. That football team has been playing pretty good defense. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm sure he's ready. But if this was the AP of old, I would definitely agree with that. But I don't know about this AP. He's still a beast though. That's one of my favorite running backs. But Spence, what you got to say?
now both of these teams have failed me
Yeah.
numerous of times. Both of these teams has failed me. So whatever I pick, it's one's going to fail me and one's not.
I got a pitch for you. Every time that
Oh,
Trey has
okay.
picked the Washington football team, they
Against?
they failed him. Every time he's picked
Hmm.
them, he picked
Ah,
Detroit. So
but
come on my side and just pick the Washington football team. We getting
well, that's true. But I don't know, man, because they failed me too. They failed me too. They were supposed to beat the Giants and they lost to the Giants, so they kind of failed me too.
And we eating this
Lot.
butter this week. Trying to
I
tell
don't
you.
know. I don't know about
I
that.
don't think I don't think the Bucks are gonna allow you to. The Bucks fans, they're not gonna like seeing you do that.
They don't like to see you do that. I,
They
I don't,
they like to see you like that though, with that jersey. Yeah, they like that.
anyways, I'm picking the Lions for this one. I believe Matt Patricia should get the win on this one. Should, but once again, these teams has failed me before, so I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. But speaking of the Matt Stafford thing, the Detroit Lions GMs, they got to look to the future. They got to start looking to the future. Matt Stafford has been on that team since his rookie year. It is what 10? Like 10? That's a long time. Them Falcons, you guys, Trey.
Hey,
Yo, yo.
the difference with Matt Ryan and Stafford, Ben got him two. He's been to three Super Bowls. You can't compare. You cannot compare.
I'm not.
And
I'm not saying. I'm not
I
saying
know.
about
I
their.
know. I get what you're saying. You're talking about
Yeah.
you get kind of long in the tooth. Like I get
Right.
you in that part,
Yeah.
but Hall of Fame quarterback,
Oh no. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matt Ryan,
No.
board. I don't know. That's
No.
different. That's different topics.
No. Yeah. That's a different thing. But I'm saying, as the longevity, as time progressing, Father Time waits on no man. So y'all
Hey,
better start.
Brady's still playing, so I mean,
and according to some people didn't wish he played. Anyways, moving on.
I mean,
but oh wait, yeah, actually, hold on before we brush over that is another thing too, though. What we were talking about earlier with Tampa fans, it's just like they were so pissed at Brady
Oh
after
yeah.
that game, but it's just
Oh
like,
yeah. They wanted his head on
but
a
I mean, I get it.
platter.
People, you get mad about a game, you get down, but it's just like, I don't know.
I didn't see that down my timeline, but maybe.
No, people that I knew was pissed, and not because of Brady lost. They were pissed because of this.
Yeah,
that was definitely a lot of people were upset.
So they were pissed about this. But anyways, moving on.
Yeah, what's the next game, Vick?
Well, I wanted to pitch in one more thing. Matthew Stafford, obviously. I mean, I know they say that he's become a better quarterback because of him no longer having to lean on Megatron, but they haven't been to the playoffs since then.
Shit,
But
and they only went once with him, so it's just like,
Yeah.
I mean, my whole point is that Megatron was definitely a big factor in his success because at that time a lot of people seeing Matthew Stafford in a different light. Now it's kind of like, I don't know, they're iffy about whether he's even a top 10 quarterback or anything like that, because before he was always a top 10 quarterback when he had Megatron. But on to the next one. We got the Bills at 5-2 versus the Arizona Cardinals at 5-3. Ah, man, oh man. I'm going with my gut on this one. I personally feel like they're gonna let me down. So I'm going with the Arizona Cardinals.
Ooh, okay.
Kyler Murray has had a phenomenal season. I didn't pull the stats on it, but so far this year, for those that want to check that out, feel free. But Kyler Murray this year has had a better season than Lamar Jackson of last year on his MVP season. So
yeah, at the same point in the season.
Yeah. So yeah, and I feel like Josh Allen, he's inconsistent in my opinion. You never know what you're gonna get from them. Arizona, I mean the Bills, they don't seem to be able to run the ball so effectively, which forces Josh Allen. He is pretty much their rushing attack. If you're looking at the numbers, but I feel like that's going to play into the Cardinals' favor, them being more pass happy. And I'm going to call it. I'm going to say Buda Baker ends the game with the interception on Josh Allen. Down by 4. Cardinals win. Trey?
Okay. So before I give you my take on that one, I actually pulled those stats for everybody here.
All
So
right.
Mhm.
through the first 8 games of last season, which was Lamar's MVP season, Lamar had 2,450 yards passing, 17 touchdowns, with a total QBR of 73.7. Now this year, 2020 through 8 games, Kyler Murray, 2,673 yards passing, 24 touchdowns, and a QBR of 77.0. So just to put that in perspective, through the first 8 games, and Lamar won a unanimous MVP last season. So
Mhm.
it's kind of crazy that a lot of people aren't talking about Kyler the same way that they were talking about Lamar, but the numbers don't lie. So we'll see how it goes down the stretch. But then again, you didn't have. I mean, well, I guess Mahomes was still somewhat in the race last season too. But you got Russell still in the race. You got Aaron Rodgers, Mahomes. Some people say that Josh Allen should be in the race, mainly Bill fans, but
Yeah.
his numbers are pretty good. So I mean, you
Yeah.
can make the argument.
Yeah.
Um, but as far as with this one here, I guess they showed me something. I'm actually gonna give them respect this week. They that was a big win last week, and I'm still shocked by it. I'm taking the Bills.
Wow.
I'm gonna take the Bills.
Wow.
All right. What about you, Spence?
Well, I'm now Vic. We speak on something earlier that if people don't know that the Thursday night football game is the Cards and Seahawks. So my pick for this game will based on the pick of that one. So for all purposes of testing out, I'm going to pick the Buffalo Bills. I want to see something because if that's the case, then it will give me further intel of what I'm picking Thursday. But I believe that even though Kyle's having an amazing year, I think for the Bills they have to. I think they have a game plan for him because you have to look at it for who's their leading rusher for the Cardinals?
Kyler Murray.
It's Kyle Murray with 76 carries of 543 yards. Your leading rusher is also your quarterback. I get it. He's a scrambling quarterback, and
Hey,
if it ain't open, I'm running it. I got it. I got it.
But he runs by design too, though. That's crazy.
yeah.
Like they run a lot of read options, a
Yeah.
They
lot of read
do.
options. He takes off
They,
a lot, and
they do.
he don't get hit either. Like he's
No, he's
like
very
you think
smart.
Lamar is shifty. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
he's shifty too. I don't know. It's crazy.
That is a big factor of that. But if the Bills can able to probably can't stop it, but to slow down and maybe try to neutralize that, they'll have a chance. So I'm picking the Bills with you on Trey. I'm picking the Bills on this one.
I'd argue real quick though that I don't know. I don't because you got Lamar running, you got Kyler Murray running, but when it comes down to them passing, I don't know Kyler. And it's not just
I,
me being a Steelers fan. This is me just being real. Like I don't know.
no,
I think
uh,
Kyler throws a better ball.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm a Ravens
no.
fan. Yeah, I agree.
So it's crazy.
Now, there's been
Mm.
talk about Kyler Murray having issues more so in between the numbers of throwing passes, more so than outside, which is the opposite for Lamar. People talk about Lamar has issues throwing to the outside of the numbers compared to the inside, where
Inside, right?
Andrews is his target, but they also, it's because of his height that they talk about that.
Yeah.
Based on numbers, that's typically what they've
Listen,
seen that
I
defense
mean,
are keying in on.
you can't go wrong with either one of those guys.
And,
Though. They're
and
gonna
you
be
also
around
got
for
to
a while.
think, you also got to think too that they don't have a tight end over there or a legitimate tight end in Arizona compared to Baltimore. So maybe that might have some kind of factor into it, but based on just how things have been, I would say I would agree. Kyler Murray is definitely the better passer than Lamar, but that's just my opinion. Also, I just wanted to throw this out there real quick. Um, Not saying that this is the reason why I picked these teams to win, but as Spencer mentioned, the Cards are 5-3, and Seattle right now they're 6-3. They have an upcoming Thursday night football game, so I think that would be a great matchup, especially as far as like division title or division leader at the
We
moment.
we just seen what happened with the Colts and Titans
So
Thursday. So the same thing. Seahawks
yeah,
have had the division the whole time.
and
It could split.
another one, you got the Buffalo Bills at 7-2, and you got the Miami Dolphins at 5-3. So the Bills drop one whenever they play. Division leader is
Hey,
up for
well,
grabs.
well,
I
Pittsburgh,
see.
Pittsburgh, we gonna help Miami out in a couple weeks when we play Buffalo. So don't even worry about that because they taking another L. So don't even worry. We
I
got
appreciate that.
we got that.
All right. So um on to the next one. We got on to the next topic. We have the Broncos at 3-5 versus the Las Vegas Raiders at 5-3. I have the I really like this team. I know Trey's always mentioned that this is one of his teams that he had as his sleepers, which is the Broncos. Um, I have some stock in them, fantasy wise, especially. I love Drew Lock and Jerry Judy, especially. But I got the Raiders winning this one. I I believe just like the leads that well actually the deficits that they have consistently been able to overcome the Broncos, they won't be able to come back on the Las Vegas Raiders as they did against the Chargers and it was somebody else.
Falcons?
Oh, actually, the Falcons they didn't come back. They got close, but they didn't make the
Uh,
comeback.
Yeah,
Um,
they didn't fulfill it, but yeah, they
yeah.
did come back because they were losing.
So, I mean, maybe if they could show me otherwise, but right now, the Las Vegas Raiders they seem like the overall better team. Um, Even though the defense, the Broncos defense has been keeping them in the ball games. It's going to be largely up to what the offense is able to produce. I know Jerry Judy's questionable with a shoulder contusion, uh, which those aren't no joke. If you ever experience those, they are something that you just never really get over. Not with a week off of practice or anything like that. You have to probably have like about a month or so. So that's going to be something that's going to be lingering throughout the NFL season for him. So again, I got the Raiders winning this game. Trey, who you got?
Like I'm not sold completely on the Raiders still. And they kind of started to show me why I wasn't sold on them when they were winning in the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
Uh them and the Browns kind of like in the same boat. Like they're gonna win some games. They're candidates to go 8-8 for me. Like I don't see either team making the playoffs, honestly. Which 8-8 will be an amazing year for the Browns' sake. Like, oh my gosh. But anyway, that's a different story. Um, I like that. I like Drew Lock, man. I don't know. He got some fight. He's feisty. I like him. There's something about him. And their defense, they're another team that like they're gonna keep it close for the most part. Like you said, even when they're in deficits, they do find a way to fight back into the game. Division opponent. And question, where's it? Is it in Denver?
no, it's in Las Vegas.
It's in
we
Las
in,
Vegas.
we in Vegas, baby.
That was the main reason why I went with the
Yeah, yeah, because playing in Denver is a hard place to play.
Maha, yeah.
I'm sticking with my gut. I'm taking Denver still. I'm gonna take
In
Denver.
Denver?
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Spence.
Well, Well, Vic, you got a tag team partner. I'm picking the Raiders on this one. No, against the Broncos. It's just that, man. I think they're just trying to just salvage of what they have and just make it a good possibility out of a bad situation. Even though the Raiders have, like you said, won games and then lost some games, so I agree with you on that one. They look like an 8-8. If I see an 8-8, but I think this is going to be one of the winning 8-8. So I'm gonna take the Raiders on this one.
All right. Now, on to the next one. We have the Los Angeles Chargers at 2-6 versus the Miami Dolphins at 5-3. Big game for them. Miami Dolphins, I'm referring to. We all know what the Chargers are capable of, at least in terms of keeping the game close. Um, I do like what the Miami Dolphins have to offer. Definitely a top 10 defense at the worst. Um, I'm going with the Dolphins on this one because, again, I'm largely hoping for a big divisional matchup, uh, the Bills versus the um, Dolphins. But I want to continue to see because I know last week, actually earlier this week on the pod, I was drinking a lot of the Kool Aid on Tua. So I want you to continue to do your thing and progress in the right direction. You have definitely caught my attention. I knew you were, a special quarterback, but obviously coming off the injury, I have a few, actually, both of my fellow crew members are Dolphins fans, and again, shout out to Vernon because he's been talking about him for the longest. I I just I want to continue to see him progress. It's definitely a great story to hear and see. Just what he's overcome and where he's at right now, and to get the Dolphins to where nobody really expected them to be, in contention to go to the playoffs to where they're at now. Obviously, large credit to Ryan Fitzpatrick for keeping the season alive. So yeah, I'm going with the Dolphins. Um, Chargers always find a way to lose the game. So yeah, Trey.
Second that, going with the Dolphins. I feel like it should be a good showing, but from both quarterback standpoints, from both Tua and my boy Herbezy. But as you said, Herbert, we kind of touched on this last episode, how it's been heartbreaking loss after heartbreaking loss from his standpoint, where he like, what more do you have to do as a quarterback to put your team in position to win a game
Win.
and them not win the game? And like you said, the Dolphins defense is a top 10 defense at worst. Um, and the Chargers defense, not so much of a challenge on that end. So I feel like Tua should be able to show you a little bit more than what he showed you last week versus the Cardinals, who I dare say have a better defense than what the Chargers are gonna present. So uh, nonetheless, it should be an exciting game. Two young quarterbacks. Arguably, this might be one of the better QB classes since the '03 class with Ben Rivers and Eli Manning, with Tua, Herbert, and Burrow. So uh, just the past couple years, honestly, like the league is in good hands with when it comes to young quarterbacks. Your Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Tua, Herbert, Burrow. Like the league is in very good hands.
Yeah.
Just hopefully Pittsburgh, we can get us one to in contention there. But
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I'm taking Miami though. No surprise there. I picked against them last week actually. I didn't want to be like, let me just take the Dolphins. Because I'm pretty high on the Cardinals this year, but they proved me wrong, and I rightfully take that. But go ahead, Spence.
Well,
Thank
you
you.
already know what I'm picking. I'm picking the Fins. I was the sole survivor for the Cardinals, and thanks to a Zane Gonzalez missed short kick, we got a dub. So I'm taking them again against the Chargers. Do I think this is going to be a blowout? Heavens no. But I feel like I just feel like the Chargers. I think the Chargers just finding new ways to lose a game. Let's not pick up an onside kick, guys. Let's find new ways to blow a game. But I'm picking the Fins on this one.
All right. I just want to give I guess, a bold prediction in a way to say. I'm going to say Tua is going to throw less interceptions than Breezy.
Now, Vic, I understand. What I did was kind of easy.
Breezy will have more passing yardage.
All right, look, I get it. I got the kick thing right. It shows a lot of skill. I guess everybody wants to do it. I get it. Make it easy for yourself. All right, make it easy for yourself, though. Make it easy for yourself. Continue. You good?
All right, so we have the Cincinnati Bengals at 2-5-1 versus the 8-0 Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ooh.
Now, this is my upset alert.
Really?
Yeah, upset alert. The Bengals beat the Titans a few weeks back.
So you're picking
them.
So you're picking them?
And actually, I'm not going to pick the Bengals. I just wanted to kind of like lead y'all on that one. I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers on this one. Bengals, I'm not too sure. They're gonna. The last game that Joe Burrow had against a competent, well, I would say more of a elite level defense was the Baltimore Ravens, which
I appreciate you.
they got demolished, and he had his worst game of his
young career.
So far. Now, I'm not gonna say that the Pittsburgh Steelers have the better defense, so I'm going to keep that to the chest. But that D line.
You don't have to say it, but okay.
That D line of the Pittsburgh Steelers is definitely going to cause a lot of havoc. I think with that, their front seven is definitely going to cause Burrow to have his worst game. I don't think this is going to be that close of a game, but I do expect it to be at least Pittsburgh wins by 13. And Burrow gets sacked at least 3 times.
Yeah, all right. So it should not surprise you. I'm taking the Steelers. But little bit of updates. Big Ben, as well as Vince Williams, they were activated from the COVID reserve list. So they will be playing on Sunday. So that might have swayed the whole decision. If Mason Rudolph had to play this game, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm taking the Bengals. Sorry. Sorry. Not even gonna put myself out there like that. Nope. No.
Really?
I don't trust. Did you see us last season? Really? Yeah, really, yes.
I would
horrible. His highlight play was get hit in the head with his own helmet. All right. That's what you remember from him from last season. Anyways, so yeah, we got Ben and the boys back. Also, I got to double check. There was a chance Mike Thomas said earlier in the week that both Tyson Alalualu as well as Mike Hilton potentially be back for this game. So that will be big in the run game, even though last I seen Joe Mixon isn't playing. No. And even when he has been playing, he's averaging under like 4 yards per carry this year. So yeah, their run game has been kind of like non-existent. And
Joe Mixon is definitely not going to be playing. He hasn't really had much.
Did I say Joe Burrow? I meant Joe Mixon.
Yeah, he hasn't had much of a full participant in most of the practices, and it doesn't sound like he's going to really be able to play. Giovanni Bernard will definitely be starting. I picked him up in one of my fantasy leagues. He's been having a good, he's been productive in terms of the passing game. Run game, that's a whole different story. But that's definitely somebody Joe Burrow is definitely going to lean on. But yeah, you continue.
Well, yeah. So the Bengals this year, like we talk about bad O lines, they have had like trouble with their O line. So
Yeah.
that's why I expect the pass rush to be able to feast. You say 3 sacks at least. I feel like we between Bud and TJ and the boys, we get five sacks, bunch of hits. Like he's gonna get hit all day.
Yeah,
Um,
he plays a
like
lot.
they play in the shotgun a lot of the time just to try to help protect, and which that's probably another reason why their run game is not as effective because runs from out the shotgun don't typically work as well for the most
Mhm.
part, especially when you're exclusively running from out the shotgun for the most part.
Yeah.
Um, Avery Williamson, this will be his first game actually suiting up, playing. I'm not sure how much they're going to use him. Like I said, in New York, he was a 3 down linebacker, so he played every down. I don't know if they're going to ease him into that spot because Spillane has been doing a good job since Bush did go down. He hasn't looked out of place. Him and our rookie outside linebacker, Highsmith, they've had a lot of PT, and they both got a pick from Lamar against the Ravens game, and they've been doing their thing, showing out. So, um, but yeah, nonetheless, I'm taking I yeah, I said what I said, but nonetheless, I'm taking Pittsburgh. Not gonna say a blowout though. Like it's gonna be bad, but I feel like the score won't necessarily. I can see us win by 17, but one thing though, not to sleep on, kind of like what you seen happen with Dallas. Me and Vic talk about this a lot. It comes down to matchups at the end of the day. And their receiving core does present a tough matchup for our defenders, our cornerbacks specifically, because our cornerbacks are not that tall in stature. And when you have Boyd,
TJ
Green,
Higgins.
and Higgins, kind of like they had CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, and who am I missing from Dallas?
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper. How did I forget Cooper? But yeah, they kind of, they gave us some fits.
Yeah.
Though I think we'll be getting to Burrow a lot more than we did this double G Gabbard, Gilbert, whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, I feel like that'll be the difference maker. But if he has time to throw the ball, I feel like there will be opportunities in the pass game. So don't be surprised if it stays a little close. Like I feel like they'll be able to get him field goal range to kick field goals. But go ahead, Spence.
Well, Vic, who you picked again?
I picked the Steelers.
Oh, hang on. Vic, who you picked again?
Yeah, you know who he picked. Like we're the same. We're all the same. Me and Vic, yeah, Steelers fans.
Steelers. All right.
Yeah, Steeler Vic.
I'm legally blind.
But no,
Matter of fact,
no,
I'm
but
gonna get that framed and put it right there. You see that
no,
open space right there? That'll look perfect. Vic, that'll look
but no. All seriousness, I'll pick the Steelers. I'll pick the Steelers.
I was serious about that too, though. Like I
Of course,
really get that framed.
I know you are. Moving on.
One thing I wanted to add to this is I feel like if the Bengals go into the game um, trying to get the ball out of Burrow's hand quickly, like take some notes from Dallas, all right? Don't hold on to the ball too long. Try to, you know,
But you
get
know
the
what
ball
though?
in and
That's
out.
Burrow's thing though. Like
Yeah,
if you
Burrow
watch
likes to
him, he
play a lot
tries
of
to.
hero ball.
Yeah, we love that. Be a hero.
So that's
You
gonna get
can
him in
be a
trouble.
hero. You can be a hero, Joe. Please. We got a guy
Don't
like Minka who loves. Yeah, try to make something happen.
don't don't do it this week, Joe Burrow. If there's a game that you want to have your best game of your career, this is the game. All right.
Hey, this is your
Here we go.
This is your Super Bowl. Show out.
um, but yeah, so with that being said, on to the next topic. We have not the next topic, the next game. We have the 49ers at 4-5 versus New Orleans at 6-2. I'm gonna go with New Orleans. This is uh, not much of a game in my opinion. Injuries, um, I mean, I know that the 49ers will keep it competent, but after that, I don't know that destruction that the Green Bay Packers put on the 49ers last week on Thursday Night Football. I believe the New Orleans Saints will do the same thing. I think they're a more physical team um, than the Packers. So yeah, going with the New Orleans Saints. Trey.
Yeah, I'm gonna second that one. I don't have much to say.
Yeah.
Jameis, eat a W. Uh, if they do what they did against the Bucks, Jameis might be getting some more PT. You know,
Mm.
they might be doing some more. They might be doing some more dancing in this
Yeah.
because they don't got a lot of options to try to shut down like what Tampa presented. So it'll
Yeah.
be a lot easier payday. They just gotta stay motivated.
All right, Spencer, you going with the same?
Well, James is already telling you.
All right. Well, then, with that being said, on to the next one. We have Seattle at 6-2 versus the Rams at 5-3. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know right now. I think this is going to be
Oh,
part
this
of
this
why.
game of the week.
Game of the week. I personally don't think that. I personally think that what's it called? This is probably the reason why, and it's not entirely his fault, but Russell Wilson may be going down on the MVP race. I believe that the Seahawks will lose this game. Russell Wilson against Sean McVay, he is 2-4. Um, Also, you seen last week what the Bills did against the Hawks, which the Rams, they do have a very solid defense. Aaron Donald,
Jalen
uh,
Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey is going to be
That is
most
the
likely on
matchup.
DK Metcalf, but I believe he's going to be more on DK Metcalf than anything, not more so Tyler Lockett. Which the other whoever is locking up Tyler Lockett, that's going to be the biggest key to this game. But ultimately, it's going to come down to turnovers, um, and I don't think the I don't believe the Seahawks have what it takes at this rate right now. And since the Super Bowl era started, they have the worst statistical season with 362.1 yards passing per game. The next closest one, which is the Atlanta Falcons of this year, at 310.3. And it's just, yeah, again, everybody's able to pass the ball on the Seattle Seahawks. That's just gonna hurt the Seahawks a lot. Um, the Rams are number two in scoring defense. They're number two in yards allowed per game. Um, Although the Seahawks are first in scoring, passing yards, and touchdowns, they also have the number one scored red zone efficiency. But something just for everybody to know, um, since Russ and Goff have been playing against each other, Russ has more turnovers with 10 um, compared to Jared Goff. Jared Goff has eight, six interceptions, two forced fumbles. I mean, not two forced fumbles, two fumbles. Russ has eight interceptions, two fumbles, and he also has 13 more passing attempts than Jared Goff. So for some reason, Russell Wilson, he struggles against the Rams, which I'm not going to say for some reason. AD, Aaron Donald in the middle, um, is part of that, but they also got Michael Floyd, I think it is, or I know his last name is Floyd, the outside linebacker slash DN, which is gonna present some problems. And obviously, Jalen Ramsey and that defense are playing pretty good right now. So I got the Rams winning this one.
Okay. I am gonna take the Seahawks. I think they were caught off guard. Maybe they got hit in the mouth last week. They tried to bounce back. I know it's gonna be a division game. It's gonna be tough. One of those tough games. NFC West is probably one of the better divisions this year. Um,
Yeah.
all of them are pretty capable teams, but I mean, San Fran's hurt right now, so you don't see it as much with them. But they're gonna keep, like you said, they're a competent team. They're gonna keep it respectable. Um, I just don't see them losing back to back games like that. They're gonna try everything not to, at least. At least Russell's gonna try everything not to go down that way. As far as that defense, like you said, yeah, I can go out there and pass for 300 on them. So it's like it's crazy right now. Doesn't matter. But yeah, but to what I'm taking the Seahawks though. But to what you said about
Uh,
the MVP thing, this is my retort to that is because of how bad, historically bad the defense is. If Russell Wilson is still in the mix with Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers comes at the end of the season, he would have to be the MVP for me because despite what he's going through with lack of defense, like I said, if the numbers stay on pace, like he can't keep throwing the he has to control what he can control. But if the numbers stay on pace where they're at, to me, he has to get it. It just and then also look at divisions. We just what I just say about the NFC West compared to the
let's see, at least.
well, no, not the NFC least to the Packers, the NFC North,
Oh, yeah, North,
the
yeah.
Bears, the Lions, the Vikings. Okay, then you have Patrick Mahomes, the Raiders, the Chargers, and the Broncos. Then you got Russell Wilson. He has to face the Rams twice. Okay, the 49ers, I'll give you that one. But then he has to face the Cardinals twice as well. So it's like everything is more so stacked up against Russell Wilson for me.
Uh, I personally, it's my take, but I like Kyler Murray when it's said and done to be ahead of Russell Wilson in MVP voting.
Hmm.
Some of the things that you stated earlier about the stats of
Yeah.
Lamar's MVP season compared to this one. But yeah, go ahead, Spence. I don't know if you were done, Trey.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm taking Seattle. That's it.
Okay, Spence.
Once again, this is the other game that's gonna help me pick for Thursday. As much as I want to pick the Seahawks to win this, I'm going with the Rams. Why? Not on anything on Russell, but if Carlos Hyde and Carson are both out that game, uh,
And they got
it's
some
gonna have.
some Kane running backs, man.
Yeah,
DJ Dallas and Travis Homer. Let the boys shine.
You're
DJ.
right. You're right. You're right. You're right, but but here's the thing. There's nothing offensively for the Seahawks. I
Yeah.
have problems with. Is defensively. Um, Remember they got Cooper Cup. Um,
Yeah, they're gonna have a good day.
They're gonna have a great day. So
Matter of
that's
fact,
the
let me
only
check on
reason
that.
I say that the Rams are going to win. That secondary is gonna get that secondary is gonna get torched alive if they can't get to golf. They're going to get torched alive.
All right. Well, on to the Sunday night football game. My Baltimore Ravens at 6-2 versus the Pats at 3-5. I don't think we have to really get a deep dive into that with me. I'm going with the Ravens. Uh, I know there's been some issues as of late with the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar and Hollywood. Just talking about play calling. Defenses are able to call out plays and etc. Despite that, obviously Lamar still had success. It's just I feel like they're gonna have they're gonna be a little bit more creative this week, and you might see a better version of Lamar than what you probably have seen. And I'm not saying that the Patriots are a bad defense, but they're not what they used to be. And what Lamar did last season to them. This is not the same Lamar in some ways, but I feel like maybe more so towards, the Lamar that we're going to see of 2020, um, more so than what we saw last year. So we got the Ravens winning. Um, Trey?
Yeah, no deep dive for me. I wish I could hype this up to be more of a duel than what it's gonna be because I am a huge Cam Newton fan. Love Cam. Want him to want to see him be successful. Good win last Monday night against the Jets. That's what you need to do as a starter. But they don't have any chance in this one. Let's just go to be real. I mean, I sign me up for the upset though. If they can pull it off,
Hey,
sign me up. Anytime the Ravens lose, I'm happy. But I just don't see it happening this week. I'm taking the Ravens. That's it.
All right, Spence.
Ravens for me.
All
Short and
right.
sweet. All right.
So I say just
All right.
Ravens for me.
So with the last game, we have the Monday night football game. It's the Minnesota Vikings at 3-5 versus
Run, Cook, run.
the Chicago Bears at 5-4. All right, so I'm gonna make it simple, pretty easy. I mean, it's not pretty easy, but it's I've thought about it, and I didn't want to get too deep into the statistics and all that stuff. But um, usually when Kirk Cousins goes against a say top five, top 10 defense, a premier defense, he struggles quite a bit, especially with the Bears being pretty good against the run. And as you've seen, Dalvin Cook is the show. Um, this is a prediction I feel more strongly about, more so than what I did against the Colts. Colts and the Titans this past week. Dalvin Cook will be held under 100 yards rushing, and they will cause the Minnesota Vikings to be one dimensional, and Kirk Cousins will lose the game for the Vikings, which I picked the Bears last week to win. They failed me, but I believe they will get it done this week. Minnesota's defense hasn't been anything special, so I think Nick Foles may have a good game. Not going to say he's going to have a great game, but he's going to have a good game, do enough just to get the win. And yep, going with the Bears.
Mm, okay.
All
Not too
right.
happy about that, just to say, because I'm a big Dalvin Cook fan. But yeah, go ahead.
I am actually I'm taking the Vikings. I'm gonna stick with the Vikings. They ever since that upset against the Packers, they've been riding like a high. Literally, I mean, Dalvin Cook has been the show, and if you neutralize Dalvin Cook, what you just said might ring true. But I think he can still hit 100 yards rushing. They can also utilize him in the passing game because like little short passes are essentially they're still runs. Uh, as long as you don't make Kirk Cousins have to do too much, they should be okay. Like I said, their defense not too much to write home about, but then again, are you really that scared of Nick Foles either on the opposite end of that spectrum? So I feel like it's kind of, I mean, it's a division game as well. Still going to be kind of tightly contested. I'm a ride with the hot team in that sense, and that's why I'm taking the Vikings.
All right, Spence.
0-3. 0-3. That has been the Bears of late. I'm picking the Vikings. Devin Cook is having one of historic year. I feel like I don't think they're gonna stop that run. I really don't. I don't. As long as they take it out of the hands of Kirk Cousins, I think the Vikings should be perfectly fine. I'm picking the Vikings on this one.
All right. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for our NFL Week 10 pick'ems this week. If there's anything that you could do right, make sure you take notes on what I picked. These other guys don't know.
Oh,
Don't know top.
I think I'm the only person who's won twice so far still.
I'm about to end that right now.
But needless to say, whatever. Um, I
Whatever.
do, yeah, whatever. I mean,
Whatever.
listen to the guy if you want to. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I'm sure he hasn't stirred you guys wrong yet, right?
Not yet.
Yeah. Seeing that he's only won,
One game.
yeah, one time, in
Yeah.
which technically,
No,
whatever.
I won.
We
I
won't
won.
get into that.
No, there's no technically.
We're not getting to that.
All right. Before we do wrap things up here, though, I do want to give a shout out to my boy over at Far Out Productions 813. You can follow him on Instagram at Far Out Productions 813 for any graphics needs, as well as you can go check out the work that he did for us on IG at All Takes Valid. Again, any suggestions or anything you guys have, you can send that to us either via message or send us an email at alltakesvalid@gmail.com. You can follow me personally at Trill_Trayy at IG. And Spence.
You can find me at No One Can Stop the SP.
And you can follow me on IG at On My Grind 04.
All right. And did we have anything else before we wrap this one up, gentlemen?
I'm gravy. I'm just excited for this NBA free agency.
That is coming up, and we will have probably a segment on that coming up on one of the next shows. Did you have anything?
Tua Tagovailoa, I'll be watching you. So let's see what you do. Outside of that, I'll definitely be tuned in to the Bills versus the Cards game and the Seahawks versus the Rams. Those two games, in my eyes, are the games of the week.
Yeah, be good ones.
Outside of that, I don't have anything else.
All right, boys. Well, you know this part of the show. So at the end of the day, look, you don't have to agree. You can disagree. But at the end of the day, all takes are valid.
Or better yet, my take is valid.
All right, boys.
Here we go.